Jo, och liksom, ja, jag har 3 stycken, men man väljer ju oftast liksom mål. Så att man är begränsad, lika begränsad så, det gör så lite. För skjuter man med en extra så skjuter jag oftast på samma. Men det är väl att de är så jäkla, jag tror de är jäkligt svåra och liksom. För liksom, om du ska spela med dem, men då måste man ta en spelsektion där man bestämmer att man ska köra de här specialuppdragen. Det är inte vanlig match. Hur använder man? Det är liksom
Ni alla en Starfighter. Jag blir tokig på det här. Ja, det där. jag har ingen aning om vad som hur det funkar. Det är så jävla svårt det. Så, nu är den inne. Ja, man ser ju någonting, sen helt plötsligt säger det ett fel. Skit. Den här funkar ju. Så Swedes Friday, live nu. Ah, fuck. Jag har ingen aning vad det är för fel. Jag börjar bli trött på det här. För att se den här streamar jag.
Just det, för den där ska skicka till YouTube på något sätt.
Ja, nu verkar ju också ljudet gå ut. think we actually got the sound working now. Having had some difficulties getting everything running again, we should be up and running. All right, everybody, it seems like we are actually up and running now. We did have some problems. Initially, I wasn't being able to actually see. I can actually not see my own stream over YouTube, but I do see it, of course, here on my computer. Appreciate anything in the chat if you need to hear me better or if there's something that we need to adjust. I'm all on my lonesome here, so if I don't have the help from Robert, he's actually playing today. So if I need to run off and act as judge, just bear with me. And I might also have to spot myself to figure out what those crit cards are, but I think you can understand that. So anyway, we are up and running, and I hope that things are showing well for you there at home, even though I might not be able to see this myself. Okay, so what we have here is Felix is running running Colonel Vessery with Countess Riot, Scimitar Squadron, and together with Ruthlessness on Vessery, Iron Cannon, and Tai D. We have Countess Riot with Ruthlessness, Iron Cannon, Tai D there as well, and we have a Scimitar Squadron pilot with a Fleet Officer and the TIE Shuttle. Now, what does that Fleet Officer do? And I hardly ever see that one. The Fleet Officer actually just choose up to 2 friendly ships at range 1 to 2 and assign 1 focus token to each of those ships. Oh, so it's an action control. It does cost you a stress to do that. This is to be a little bit more effective. This is fairly similar to the list that you won ran yesterday to some extent, but now with some more named pilots. Seems like the Scimitar Squadron pilot is firing at Fen Rao. Seems like he's spending some focus. Seems to have lost the shields off of Fen Rao there. Felix attacking back. Felix trying to defend with his defenders. Loads and loads of dice. Losing 1 shield. Not certain which ship that was on. I'm going to have to double check that one in a moment. Attacking back. This is fairly quickly played. Attacking on Fen Rao again. We're back into planning phase, and I will just do a spot check to see where things are at now that I'm being able to catch up with everything. Yeah, so we have Fen Rao with 1 damage. And Riyadh had taken 1 shield so far. Okay, this is definitely going to be a joust. Elis is, he's known in both these guys are known from the Swedish X-Wing community. Elis has won a few tournaments as well. So is Felix. This would be a pretty good matchup. Elis running. This is the list that we saw a lot of in Worlds with Lorik, Miranda, and Fan Rao. Sometimes Ezra, sometimes Fen. This time Lorik has got Draw Their Fire, Wookiee Commandos to reroll all those focuses. Miranda with the TLT, extra munitions to be able to fire the harpoons twice. C-3PO to do some damage control. Bomber generator and guidance chips to get those real hard shots in on the harpoons. And then we have Fen Rao with adaptability and tactician, trying to shed some of that stress. This will probably be yet another one of those, bloody fights. I think where we see a lot of red dice being rolled, and a lot of damage being done to each other. But I'm gonna try and keep up on the game as it moves along. Sorry, Rick. Fen is he took 2 damage, so he has 1 shield off and 1 damage. So that is correct. Felix being a little careful with the Scimitar Squadron pilot. Being aggressive, however, here with the Scimitar Squad. With Reed, trying to see if can get in position to shoot Elis from behind, I believe. And maybe possibly creating a kill box. If that would be around Fen or if that's going to be around Lorik, I don't know. But I think regardless, here we go. He barrel rolls in to get into position. It's a really excellent move from Felix. And we'll see if he gets, if he can avoid those harpoons at all from Elis. Okay, here we go. Lorik's in. He will get a hard shot there on Riot, of course, with that 180-degree arc. Looks like he's taking a reinforce, though, of course, to get some of that damage off of him. And here we have the Colonel banking in. This will be a definite bloody round. We'll try and keep track of all the damage as we can, even if it might be a bit of a trick, knowing that there's going to be a lot of hard shots fired here. Okay, Fen moving into position, is keeping his formation. Now, what will Miranda do? That's probably the big kicker. So what are we going to have? Okay, Miranda's staying in the formation. I assume we'll take a target lock to be able to shoot those harpoons or something. There we go. Yep. Putting that on Vestry. Also because it's in the middle of the whole thing, so whenever the harpoon effect kicks off, we'll shed a damage onto the ships around him. He was considering, I think, we will see the harpoons go off here. I think it was, he's actually, hard to see what he was firing at. That would have to be Fen Rao, of course. No effect. Now we have, I believe Miranda would do this. Her shot at, yep, here we go. Adding, spending a shield, getting a lot of paint there. Felix will definitely take some damage on this one. How much though? Spending a focus. So let's see, how much more is the 2 shields, 3 shields off. 3 shields off of the Colonel. Good round for Elix on this one. Miranda shedding 1. Shield as well. So the Colonel shoots back now, and I assume they're going to be firing at Lorik. No. Yep, at Lorik. Gets one of the evades. Actually, it's on Fen, it looks like. Fen's taking another damage. Here we go. 2. Taking 1 more. We're actually evading it. So it's 2 damage on, I assume that was 2 damage there on Fen. Down to 2 hull left. It seems like no action. It's really hard to follow who's shooting at what on their stream. Okay, here's Lorik's shot. 2 hits. Ooh, a lot of blanks, 1 evade. 1 damage. 1 damage on Vessery. And here we have the Scimitar firing off 2. Seems like no effect on that. And we're back to dials. All right, Pablo, appreciate that. It's hard to tell how well my sound is. I appreciate that you like my commenting. I will try and crank up the sound a little bit. There are some settings to do that. Please let me know if it helps. I believe I've cranked it up a lot more. Let me know if that helps. As we saw, it was a bloody exchange. We have a harpoon condition as well on Vessery. Not good for Felix in this situation. Fenrau is hurting a bit, but Miranda's not completely did spend a shield, but is pretty much unscathed, and Lorik seems to be doing well also. So I'll go around and do a spot just to make sure I got everything up to date there. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I am back. Fenrau only had 1 hull left, and Lorik had actually taken 2 damage there. No shields left. So it was a little quick in the exchange, hard to follow, but I'm trying to keep you guys up to date as much as possible on what the standings are. Otherwise, it seems like I got everything down as I was supposed to. The Colonel's hurting the most. He's got 1 damage. Countess has lost a shield, but otherwise doing pretty well. Now, Miranda, will she drop the bomb? I would assume so, just just for good measure. Obviously, having a bomblet, she can do that over and over and over again. She just wants to make sure she doesn't get in her way of her own bombs, particularly for her own ships. But I would assume she would do that because it seems like she's getting away from that corner. Me personally, I'm really looking forward to figure out how bombs will work in 2.0. I probably just haven't done enough research, but it seems like I'm not really certain how if the bomb's going to work the same way. Will we see trajectory launchers? Will we see all the different variations of cluster mines and so forth? All right, the Scimitar Squadron pilot's moving now. He's going in, I would believe, here to bump, hopefully to try and get some heavy shots onto Miranda. Just creating a complete bump fest if possible. And now we have Riot moving in. I would assume she does a K-turn here, as always. We know, that's the defender way of working. Keep on flip-flopping back and forth. As I mentioned on the stream yesterday, I always see that the defenders tend to do that a little too often, becoming a little bit predictable in their movements. And I think that good defender players should try and mix that up a little bit more. But it is a great move, and particularly if you can get that K-turn along with a barrel roll to get yourself in a position like Felix did the previous round. I think that's great, and it obviously was a good move here for this round because Ryan really didn't take much damage from this. All right, some hard work here. Everything is really tight and tight to fit. Things are being bumped around and moved around. Hard to keep those fingers straight. We see Lorik will most likely bump into Riot. Yep, we got a bump on that. And that will be interesting to see. That's probably good for Lorik, getting out of the way a little bit. Question is, what will this do? Okay. This might actually put Felix in a tricky position where he actually doesn't get any shots, depending on what we see that Fen and Miranda does. But I would assume that we have some kind of bumping going on around here, that there will be some shots fired at Miranda or Fen. Up to me, I would try and get Fen off the board just to get rid of him, and just have one ship less to worry about. Okay, let's see if we can follow the exchange now that follows. So Fen's firing first here at the Countess. That seems like 2 hits. Folk spending the evade. Seems like getting away from there. Miranda now firing, assume the TLT. 1 hit at the Countess as well. Evading the shot, or spending the evade. Getting out of there. Another roll, trying to do a regen there. Seems like just coming up focuses. We'll add the shield back to Miranda. Okay. No shouts for the Colonel, so we're up to the Countess. He is trying to figure out, I assume he's going to be firing at Fen, just to get him off the board. But he also knows that he has no, yeah, he's going at Fen, he's going to Fen. So that would be, is he going to use the ion cannon first? Because he's got that TIE, he can first fire the ion cannon, and then after that use the primary as well. So I assume this is the ion cannon, getting 1 hit, getting the evade. All right, and now the shot again with a primary. A lot of pain. Seems like 2 hits. Yep, we got 2 hits there. 1 evade. Adds the evade there. So actually manages to survive this round. And then we have the Scimitar shooting 2 at Miranda. That was cocked, re-rolled. Miranda losing a shield. So that wasn't as bloody as we thought it would actually turn out, and Fenn survives to see another day. Quite impressive. Okay, well now we will see the bomb coming off at the end of Miranda there. Obviously giving some headaches for Felix, who's got the Colonel hurting with only 2 hull left. He doesn't want to get rid of that one by running over a bomb, and he also has the harpoon condition to think about. So, do you turn right and try, do you try and boost away and try and get out of range? But it's going to be difficult, I believe, for the Colonel in his current position. Obviously, he has the barrel roll, can use that. Now, I think, will Lorik turn around towards the board edge and try and sort of shenanigan, turn back, or will he come around the rocks? I would probably, if it had been up to me, I would go around the rocks to come in to see if you can get a better position coming out of the middle of the board. But that's going to be a tricky one. The same with Fenn, but Fenn has that rear arc that you can fire out of, and which is always good to use. Okay. Okay, the Scimitar Squadron is just banking out of there. I would assume tries to move out of there entirely. He does have the barrel roll. Nope, doesn't barrel. Oh, he doesn't barrel. That's interesting. The bomb will probably come off of there anyway. Riot just moving in, slowly but surely. I think that was a 2 forward. This is really, tight play. All the ships are really, that's a 2 forward. They're all sort of scrunched together. He's trying to get a bump off of Miranda to avoid that that focus, getting no action, denying all the action. And hopefully not either, keeping Miranda also at close range, avoiding a bit of the TLT. But Miranda, as we do know, has a primary that can shoot 360. Firepower 2, so if you get that close range, you're firing effectively at 3. Vessery, here's the one I was wondering what he was going to do. Yep. Looks like 4. I obviously believe it was K-turn. Yep, as I thought. It looked like he was actually trying to he's using the edge rather than going from middle to middle just to avoid having to move Miranda's base, and now a barrel roll to avoid the bomb, of course. However, the Scimitar Squadron is a little bit worse position, I think, for the bomb. I don't know if that's going to get him away. I think he might still be in range for the bomblet. You see Fen Rao moving first. Of course, he's got the adaptability, so he's lowered his PS down to 8, which threw me off a little bit. Here comes the bomb. Here comes the bomb. We knew this was going to happen sooner or later. And will he bump? Looks like a bump. They're coming. They're trying to determine that. Will Miranda be able to pass? Yeah, it looks like she's actually getting through. Looks like, oh, that's going to be a great position for Ryad to actually shoot at Miranda. But I think he'll probably choose Fen to just get him off of the board. I like, this. There is a reason I believe that, Elis's list, which was used at World Solaris, I mentioned, is used a lot. It's a versatile toolbox. So, and that's, if you want to win a tournament, you need to be able to manage a lot of different lists. Otherwise you get some lists that are obviously, killers for some, but you just can't manage others. This one's a bit of a toolbox. So you got a little bit of everything. You got harpoons, missiles to get that straightforward joust. You got bombs to put out there to do some of that area control. You have Fen Rao being able to do, a lot of other, being able to, doing some stress control off of that. And then just Lorik being a great heavy hitter. Let's see, did we have, yeah, he had Draw Your Fire as well to just do some damage control off of that as well across the other ships. So, overall, just a very versatile list. Okay, looks like Fen Rao's shooting out of the back, I guess. Evading that. Yeah, so stressing. So, it's oh, that was the bomb. That was the bomb that went off. Okay. So, now Miranda TLTing Vessery. Looks like 2 hits. Ooh, that's going to hurt. It's taking 1 more damage on Vessery. And let's wait for the other TLT as well. Re-rolling that with a target lock. Looks like 3 hits off of that. This is probably the end of the Colonel, as we know it. Pain all around. The Colonel is off the board. Colonel is off the board. And that would be that harpoon. So the harpoon doesn't really do much. But, Felix has lost the Colonel. That's always bad. And that's 41 points up on Elis. So he's now in the lead. We will see the Countess firing obviously at Fen Rao, and Fen is off the board. There we go. 1 at a time. So now we have 23 versus 41. 2 ships just flew off the board, or just were thrown off the board. And Lorik has no shot, and neither does the Scimitar Squadron pilot. Looks like, yeah, it looks like that first shot with the ion cannon was actually on Miranda, which is, okay, so the second shot now, yeah, on Miranda. Yeah, no selflessness. So taking off the shields off of Miranda. Looks like Miranda lost her shields, if I'm not mistaken. Lorik has no shot. So, back to planning phase, considering their moves. Obviously, I think we'll do a lot of... Yeah, Rick, I saw that. I realized that I was looking at the wrong shot, but obviously we got Fenn off the board anyway. Felix obviously wanting to turn around with the Scimitar Squadron and get him back into the fray. Question here is, what is Felix's target priority going to be? Is it going to be Miranda or is it going to be Lorik? Knowing that Lorik's already taking some damage, that it is the obvious target, but we always know that Miranda in an endgame is a bit of a rough spot. Okay, interesting. Okay, the Scimitar Squadron is trying to get rid of his stress, moving out of position. I think that might be it's probably a smart move in a sense, but I think it's also going to be tricky for Felix because he's turned away and will not be able to have shots. Obviously, Lorik's turning in now and will be getting a shot. Riot is in a great position here, of course, to fire it at Miranda. Yeah, he could, Elis can maybe slam to the right, but I think that's just a poor move. Hopefully to try and get out of arc, but I don't think that would help. So, interesting. I thought he would actually drop a bomb there. But anyway, we will see Miranda shooting first, regenning, 1 shield, firing with 2, considering to spend the focus or not, spending the focus. Some paint there, so will he spend his focus? Looks like he's spending a focus and evade, and no fire. So Miranda's get 1 shield back. So now Riot firing. 2 hits, looks like Miranda trying to evade. And I really didn't pick up. I think she lost a shield there again. The one was a little quick for me to actually pick up on that. Oh, that was the ion cannon. And there's the shot. So that's a crit. It looks like it's a major explosion. Oh, that's another crit coming in. So 2 crits off of there. Wow, major explosion hitting and coming right off of there. Lorik now firing. So I'll have to go in and adjust and see what that is. So Miranda should be down to 3 hull, I believe. Lorik firing 3. It should be range 3, so there's an additional defense dice. We'll see what he rolls. He has stress, so he only clears 1. So he should be taking, 2 damage on. 2 damage on that. 2 damage and a crit. It looks like everything went in. So 2 damage and a crit. Okay, we'll see if we can figure out what those crits are. So he's down to 3 hull. And Miranda is also, so there's a lot of damage. We told you this was going to be a bloody game, and it really is turning out that way. I'm going to go around and just check and see what those crits crits were, and I'll get back to you. So Miranda got thrust control fire, and the Scimitar Squadron pilot got structural damage, I believe it was. Yep. And me not remembering all the crit cards in my head, just have to double check what that is. Sorry guys, I'm really bad when it comes to that. Okay, I'll get back to those. Anyway, Riot obviously doing a K turn here, trying to see if she can figure, a way to kill off Miranda without getting any more harpoons at him, or at her. My bad. Lorik turning away here. That's interesting. I actually thought he'd follow the Scimitar Squadron there, but nope. So, Miranda's trying to get some reinforcement there from Lorik. That was a very interesting move from Illis. I would think he would try and go for a kill, but I think he believes that Lorik would not be able to stand a chance with a Scimitar on its own. So, regenning a shield, firing 2 with a primary. Looks like one hit there. Defending with 3. Oh, doing what defenders do so well. They always just manage to get away with it. Yeah, and Miranda has stress on her, so not being able to clear it, it's being ion. So this is the ion cannon, right? Have 1 evade. Does he manage to dodge it? Hard to tell. Here you go. 4, 3 hits. Shield off. 1 more damage. And 1 more damage. So two damage went in, 1 shield and 1 more damage. Shields are gone on Miranda, and 1 more damage. So we're down to 2 hull on Miranda. Lorik has no shot, still stressed. I do not think they managed to get in the ion there though. So Miranda's still stressed, needs to clear that stress, so obviously be doing some kind of a green maneuver. I would assume, okay, this is why he's getting Lorik in there, because now I believe Riot would like to do a K turn to finish off Miranda, which would be the great move, seeing that he's only got 2 hull left, but knowing that you'll get Miranda coming in from behind. So the Scimitar Squadron, Felix really needs to get that Scimitar Squadron in there to help out, but being very, very careful about using him in close combat, seeing that it's having that low agility that he has, he's actually getting knocked out fairly quickly. Low and low, he has 2, but compared to the defenders, it's obviously a little easier to knock out. Here we go. The Scimitar Squadron is trying to move around now. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's a 3. No, it's a 2, it looks like, doing the K-turn. Trying to stay away from Lorik as much as possible. Lorik will turn. Oh, it does. Always being very defensive there, just in case. So he will get a shot, but it would probably be at range 3 on Riot. And here comes the bomb. Okay. He should have seen that happen. But, you know, you just have to take those bomblets sometimes. And it's a 50-50, you know, if anything comes through. But, you know, doing so well otherwise. So firing adversary, 2 hits. Oh, on Riot. Riot is out. Riot is out. That was the bomb going off and just taking him off the board. I missed that he had no shields left. Oh, so this is a tricky game now for Felix. This is going to be really difficult for him to come back from. Sorry guys, I'm not keeping track of all the hits and everything as I should. It's a little hard over the stream to do this. I've been sitting there behind my computer screen many times saying, guys, come on, it's easy to keep track of this, but it isn't. It's a bit tricky, and especially when they start doing things really fast. Okay, so he will be going in. He will be going in for the kill now, coming in with both ships fairly aggressively, I believe. I think the Scimitar is going to have a real hard time to actually survive now. In my view, I think that was sort of the game. Felix having a Scimitar Squadron being out of play for so long, and having, you know, both Riot and Colonel sort of firing on their own. And also, of course, the pilot skill does actually affect this as well. Where, you know, Elis gets to fire both with Fenrau and with Miranda up front, and then, you know, getting both the bombs in and getting the harpoons in first, being able to create quite a bit of havoc for Felix. It will be probably impossible, but if Felix could get, you know, shots at just one of those two, without getting any shots back from one of them, that would be great. But I think he's, you know, Elis is just too good a player to let that happen. So he'll get shots with both of them. Lorik being able to stay away, try and reduce the damage that the Scimitar Squadron does on him, and obviously Miranda will be firing a TLT at a fairly long range. I believe also that Miranda still has a harpoon, so if she wants to, she could also do a target lock. Yes, I think he's checking for the target lock. Will use the harpoons. Oh, here we go. This is going to be nasty. So, will she spend... I can't remember if she has a shield or not. Is it obstructed? Nope, they determine it's not obstructed. So now we'll just have to see, will she spend... Yes. No, she's just using the 4. Oh, rerolling the target lock. Not happy at all. This could be the end of the Scimitar Squadron. There's some pain on there. Spending the focus. So what are we getting? We get some... Nope. That was no damage. Too many focuses on that roll, I guess. Lorik at range 3. Obstructed through the rock. So Scimitar Squadron will have yet another one. That one's cocked. Re-rolling it. Hard to see what he actually has. Doesn't look like it was much. So the Scimitar Squadron is going to take a pop shot back at Miranda with 2. Just 1 coming in, and Miranda shrugs that off. Looks like Miranda has a shield, though. Yeah, Miranda has a shield, it looks like. I might be wrong. No, that's the harpoon token that he has on his cards.
Det verkar som ju snabbare du klarar matchen, desto längre ner kommer du i tabellen.
Okay, Scimitar Squadron moving up. That's interesting. Depending on what happens there, he might not get a firing arc. I think he's assuming that Miranda's going to... Oh, he does the barrel roll. There we go. If he gets a bump there, it's probably very, very fortunate for Felix. Just exactly what I was talking about, wanting to be able to just have to deal with one ship at a time. Would just be really good for Felix. Okay, looks like that's what he got. He gets what he's asking for. But Miranda will be shooting. Will he regen a shield? Yes. Regen a shield, not much happening there. So Miranda's got one more shield left. Scimitar Squadron gets to fire back now, close range with 3. Ooh, no modification. 2 hits. Shield is gone. And that seems to be it. Okay. So Miranda lost a shield. Really, no exchange at all. Here comes the trick. Now Miranda will obviously try and drop a bomb, knowing that the Scimitar Squadron needs to move forward. I think Lorik's going to have a problem to get a shot. Really wants to do some kind of a K-turn with the Scimitar Squadron if possible. He does have a K5, but to just be able to get around and get a shot. But then he's obviously going to be standing right in the middle of a bomb, and that can really, so far Elis's bombs have been very effective. A bit randomy, but trying to turn, I think is going to be difficult. Let's see what Felix has thought about here. Will he take that chance? Nope, he doesn't want a chance on the bomb. I believe he will probably barrel roll backwards to bump Lorik, or at least get out of his arc. But then again, maybe not. Yes, Rasmus, this is one of those lists that we saw a lot in Worlds. I mentioned that early on the stream. Glad you could join. Yep, here comes the barrel roll, just like we thought. And yeah, Rick, I do believe Elis probably won. Now,
resväskan översta facket. Där har jag glömt en grej. Det finns ett kuvert där.
Nope, didn't drop the bomb because Lorik was getting too close, and there was probably not a shot anyway on the Scimitar Squadron. It will allow... Okay, Miranda regens a shield, fires 2 with the primary. Oh, Felix takes a crit. 13 minutes left. So we got 2 crits and 2 hits on Felix. I'm not certain what that crit is. We're just going to have to play as is. So we have 2 hull left on the Scimitar Squadron pilot. Okay, Felix seemed to have turned away here. I was a little bit distracted here. This is not really a good position for Felix. He really, needs to get his arc forward, pointed forward. But we'll see what happens. So, Miranda will now TLT, obviously, using 3. Try and finish things off. Those are 3 there. Oh, a lot of paint, lot of paint. 1 more damage. This might be it. This might be a good game. Oh, nothing. Blanks out. So Felix lives to see another day. No arc on Lorik. And the Simdon Squadron has no arc, so it's back to dials. Now Elis trying to play very, very quickly. But, you know, this is pretty much a done deal, I think, for Felix. He'll have to turn around, or at least bank to try and get rid of that stress. Yeah, he's doing a bank, get rid of the stress. Trying to see if he can stay away from Miranda, but I believe Miranda will probably turn hard 2 here on to the right to come around and get him from behind. Yep. And if I am Elis, I would slam. No, he's going for target lock. Interesting. Yep, here he goes. He can slam because he will have. Felix has no shots on Miranda. Good thing here though is, you know, Lorik is sort of, you know, moved away from the main combat, and I would assume that Felix will come and do a K turn here for this round to be able to get a shot. Very interesting. We have 10 minutes left on the round, and all the other tables are finished except for our stream. So this is the game that's probably going the longest of them all, but I would assume this is going to be over before time is up anyway. Thanks, Rasmus, for the kind words. I appreciate your that you like the stream. I am just it's not my stuff. This is somebody else's equipment. I'm just sitting down here. I do enjoy sitting here. This is my first time actually doing a stream. It's kind of hard though, trying to follow everything through a hazy picture. Particularly the crits are a little unfortunate. You can't get a better picture of, but that's what we have a spotter for. I don't have one today, so I have to do a bit of that myself. Okay, Felix trying to get some kind of a kill shot off of this. Ooh, question is, yeah, he needs to barrel roll. Felix is lucky. I would probably hold him back there just to try and get that, avoid that bump. But you know, Miranda will most likely end this quickly and swiftly. Yeah, we get the bump. That is not good for Felix because now Elis can drop the bomb in the next round, putting him in a pretty tricky position. All right, they're playing quickly here. All right, Felix is right in a good bomblet position for Elis. Question is, will he barrel roll out of there or not? He will try and barrel roll out of range. Oh, he's already announced the barrel roll. He should probably fulfill it, but okay, he's thinking, is he going to get further away by barrel rolling right, but then he gets the rock in the way, and he's got a crit, I guess he's considering. All right, so he has now barreled away. That will not bring him out of the range of the bomb. All right, here comes the bomblet, dropping the bomb. 2 dice will be rolled, and most likely that will if one of them hits, it's a good game, and Felix is out. Here we go. Roll the 2 dice. There's paint on that. That's the game. Thanks, guys. I will now be taking a break, and we will be back at around 1:30. 1:30.